And now, live from the studios of WHUC, this is Real Talk, where we get you something to talk about.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me on another edition of Real Talk. I am your host, Tiara Jackson. Here with us is Dr. Marquise Kessee, Dean of Academics on the Utica campus. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you for being here today. Before we get started, I would like to say how much you have helped shape this campus and the individual students as much as me. And I would like to go on saying that everyone on this campus has heard the news you'll be leaving the Utica campus going to Raymond. What has prompted that move?
Well, when I realized that the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion position had come available, I just did some introspective, just soul searching to see if that was something that I could explore with my curiosities regarding social justice, regarding making Hinds a more unified presence in our communities. It just seemed like a good move regarding my career. I've been a teacher, a math teacher for over 27 years. I've been a dean for over 17 years. And now I see this as just a wonderful transition to culminate all of my activities into this office. Okay.
And you said your new position is now the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Can you explain a little bit more about that if you could, please?
Sure, I would love to. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, it's a wonderful concept that allows all of us, regardless of your background, regardless of your racial, ethnic status, regardless of your age, regardless of gender, it allows us as a collective to embrace all of our differences and to build a better program structure, a better admission structure, a better college that will be receptive to our communities and the workforce needs of our constituents. As you start thinking about the differences that we all express, if you look around, we look different from each other. There are distinguished characteristics. We look at all of our students, all of our staff. We want to embrace those changes and those differences and make a celebrated argument that Hinds Community College is the place for you. This is where you can start something new and be a better person.
I love that. And when the opportunity arose, was it a hard decision to make staying here at the Utica campus or just moving forward to your new position?
Definitely was a struggle. I had to really soul search and pray to even apply for the position. But this has been a cause that's dear to my heart ever since I began my career in higher education 27 years ago. So the soul searching took me to a place where, as much as I want to stay at Utica, if I could do both jobs, I would. But the Utica campus has shown me that we have to transcend, we have to, champion all of our differences so that everyone can appreciate what we have to offer in Utica. So I'm not going anywhere. I'll be right around the corner, and my Utica family will see me more often than they realize. It's a sad thing that I won't be able to directly impact the instruction at our campus, but I am here. And all of my initiatives, the Office of Diversity and Inclusion is going to really draw on the experiences that I've had at Utica, the rich legacy and history of this campus. I want to champion that as well as build the presence of Hinds Community College as a whole.
Okay, thank you so much. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have more information from Dr. Kessee. Stay tuned.
When stories hit home, you can trust the WHUC News 17 to give you the information you need.
Beautiful photos, Thursday, August 19th.
If it's Hinds Community College news around the campuses.
And this is only the beginning. We have a full week of activity.
Weather.
And now in Crystal Springs, as you can see,
Sports.
Hinds is ready to get back to usual by starting the semester off with sports.
And more. We are WHUC News 7, Hinds' only college news station that cares. And now, Real Talk continues.
Welcome back, everyone. Just a quick update. We are here with Dr. Marquise Kessee, Dean of Academics from the Utica campus, will now be the new Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Dr. Kessee, you've worked at Jackson State as a mathematics instructor from 1995 to 2006, and then came here to Hinds and served here for 15 years as the Dean of Academics and Mathematics instructor. What has been your main goal with these positions, and do you plan on taking those goals with you as your new position?
Several main goals, but I guess the one that I could emphasize, again, is an equity mindset. Since I started in higher education, everything in my career has been pushing me in the direction of creating opportunities and building those pathways for our students, the ones with the high ACTs, the ones who are struggling, the ones who come from affluent communities, and the ones who are not as, stable. I always want to make sure that there is an inclusion factor. Even as a math instructor, if my students couldn't come to class, we would meet outside of class. And so there was always a mindset that everyone deserves an opportunity to try. And that's been my goal, to make those opportunities happen. I definitely plan to keep that as a mindset. As a college, we will develop some goals together, but again, it's about creating those pathways and opportunities for everyone, not just those who, are of a certain class or status, just making sure that we are meeting the needs of our constituents.
That's a good goal.
Thank you.
And since serving Hinds, what is the most memorable moment you have since being a Bulldog?
I think one of the most memorable moments actually was when I arrived at the Utica campus. I was welcomed as the academic dean and given the key to the campus. And so that has just, I have that photo framed and I have the key still, and I will make that transition to our next leadership person. I just embraced the fact that I was so well embraced. And I've always tried to make sure that, others around me have opportunities for growth and development. Even the staff, I pushed them to try and pursue those higher education goals beyond their master's into their doctoral programs. And one thing about coming to Utica, that family atmosphere that exists here, I want to build that across the college. So that has to be the most memorable moment for me.
And can you tell us when's your last day here in Utica?
My last official day is January 31st, which is next Monday. I will probably still be, handling business of the campus until someone is transitioned into the office. Definitely will still be working with the personnel here, the students here. Everyone has my cell number, so they're welcome to call me if something is needed. Since I'm moving into human resources, I won't have as much impact on the instructional side, but I still know a lot of people. And one thing about creating friendships and partnerships, they exist as long as you feed them. And so I have some really good friends and contacts across the college. And anyone who needs me, I'm still available for that help.
Okay. And do you have any last words you would like to say on air as a Bulldog?
Just trying not to cry. As a Bulldog, I just want us to continue the growth and the advancement of our students, the mindset that we can do all things as we work together, as we continue on our mission. The Utica campus has done some wonderful things programming-wise, and we want to continue in that vein, working together.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kessee here at the Utica campus. We're just so glad to know that you are moving on to bigger and better things. And don't forget about us here in Utica.
Never.
All right, everyone, please give Dr. Kessee a round of applause. Okay, everyone, that is all that we have for today. We have seen yet another Bulldog soar on to new heights, and we're just so proud of her. Thank you all for joining us on this edition of Real Talk. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for having me.